Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's live. It's Friday, 9 p.m., and we are back again with a live session on how to ace your career. So, guys, it's Friday, like I said, and we have started this new series as promised, a series on insights from mentors.
Yes.
But before I get into the series and I show you the recording of the live interview which I had with Mr. Sanjay Vaid and give his background, let me first introduce myself. I'm Nutan, I'm a career and a life coach.
I'm Dheeraj, I'm a career coach, life coach, spiritual coach and business coach.
And together we form ND Life Coaching.
Yes.
And we specialize in mid and senior working professionals.
Absolutely.
Which means people with 12 to 15 years of experience who get stuck in their career. Either they have been working in the same company for 10 to 12 years and now they want to move on. Very difficult to break your comfort zone, right? Same way, it is about, I believe that I am not growing at the pace that I want.
Yep.
And I'm looking for a major breakthrough. Or I'm wanting to transit from this career to probably move into something else.
Absolutely.
It could be a new field, or it could be from an employee to entrepreneur or entrepreneur to employee. Any kind of career stagnation, career transitions, growth in your career, all these challenges is what I coach people on. And that is what I have decided. Why do I go live? Is coming here and sharing some insights and tips on how can you really ace your career.
Absolutely. And if I'm not wrong, it's been, 7-8 months now that we had promised people that 1 year we're going to be live every Friday. And I can say we have not even missed one.
Right. And he's standing here, that's not because of a punishment.
Yeah.
It's because he's enjoying being at that place and his comfort zone. So let's really start on.
Before we start the recording, one small piece of advice. Please, I know you always have your notes and pad. Please have it now because this is a wonderful, I learned so much from the interview. So I feel everybody should learn and prepare notes. So all the best and let's connect once it gets over. We will be sharing our own learning. Thank you.
Before that, can you just take me through your educational background?
Yeah, so I did my schooling in Bombay.
Yeah.
And did my higher education graduation out of DAV College in Dehradun.
Yeah.
And started working while I was studying at a very early age there. I picked up advanced studies a bit later after taking care of my responsibilities towards my family. But I kept studying, or at least trying and failing. I tried and failed a lot to manage time in order to fulfill the requirements of the studies. I did various programming courses in the evenings and master courses, over weekends. What changed was that when internet came, it allowed you to be not physically present in a class.
Correct.
Because I see myself hampered in the early days because of the requirement to be in person somewhere, whereas you might have to be at work.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I had to drop a lot of courses at the beginning because you have to choose between work and studies.
Yeah.
Now you can do both.
Yeah.
So I, once I got a little stable in my life, I started a course with EPGDM course, Executive Program in International Business from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade.
Yeah.
Which was 1.5 years program, very intense. So I completed that.
So what was your age when you did this?
It was quite late. I think I was in early 30s. When I did this, because by that time I was able to take care of some of my personal responsibilities.
Yeah.
And by the time I also had a kid who had grown up to an age where he required a lesser attention, and we as a family decided that I should also pursue studies.
Great.
Apart from work.
Great. So your post-graduation has happened after you becoming a father.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, my
Wow.
convocation, my son was there with us, my
Wow.
wife and son both. And I also did further studies from IIM Tiruchirappalli, Indian Institute of Management in Tiruchirappalli,
Yeah.
where I did a post-graduation certificate in business management
Yeah.
in the same year there. And then thereafter, I did studied in masters from UK, University of Salford, MSc in marketing,
Wow.
and thereafter I did EPGM from MIT Sloan in the US.
Hmm.
I went to US around 3 times. I went to Malaysia
Hmm.
to finish this course. Absolute wonderful experience both in Salford University and MIT.
Yeah.
And then I did another certification program from Columbia Business School and MIT Digital Business.
Hmm.
Thereafter, I did another program which is from IIT Bombay, which was in the area of the product management there. And while I was doing this, I continued doing various certifications. So I did CISM certification, uh, recently CDPO, CISM, and various other certifications, which are licensed certifications, establishing you as an authority in that area of cybersecurity.
Yeah.
So that's what something I did from Government of India institution. I did project management, Six Sigma as well, ISO 27, ISO 9001, ISO 45001. I also completed my lead auditor certificate in ISO 27001, as well as internal auditor certificate thereafter. Yes. And I keep doing this. So currently I'm doing my PhD and master's as well at the same time.
Wow.
So that's what it has been. And I also did from UK CMI level 7 consultant certificate, which is the highest level in professional consulting.
Wow. So, what was this motivation or drive to continuously keep educating yourself, and how it has got an impact in your career?
So motivation drive was to one of like to do it. It
Yeah.
transforms you to a very clean place in your mind and yourself. And so, second, of course, is the career requirement because you have upskilled yourself, and as an upskilled resource, you are you can create a lot of value for your organization there, and it sometimes also gives a confidence to you because all that you learn might not necessarily be used at that time.
Yeah.
Obviously, it is used at some time, but it obviously have a big impact on your confidence.
Great. So while these years from the beginning that you started working quite early in your age, have you set specific goals? Do you feel that setting goals or milestones in your life are important to become successful?
Yes, absolutely. It's very, very important. While those are important, what I've also realized is that you have to be nimble-footed because there will be events that will come in life which
Correct.
you would have not foreseen, and you will have to reprioritize. So that doesn't mean that your short-term, middle-term, no long-term goal goes away. It is just that you prioritize something else. You will have, birth of new people. They will have marriages of people. You will have death of people, and you will have to, be in that moment, be mindful, and attend to those things, which is very, very important. It's very important to emphasize this fact that we do all this thing
Hmm.
for a purpose, but our
Yes.
life should not become a purpose to only do this.
Correct.
These are all supportive things for life,
Correct.
but life itself is very important.
Yeah. So when you say life is very important and there should be a purpose, what are you trying to convey?
So I'm trying to convey is that obviously you have a career,
Yes.
right? That is one thing, but then there are people around you which are also connected to you,
Correct.
and your life has an impact on their lives,
Yeah.
possibly their happinesses,
Yes.
possibly your support, you being their support system,
Yeah.
but more importantly, being there for people,
Yeah.
especially during times of joy, sadness, or transformation is important. So the purpose has to be very clear that this is, an enabler, but not the, you know, destination. I used this thing during COVID in a webinar,
Yeah.
and I recollect if you climb a Mount Everest, right,
Hmm.
you don't start living there and sleeping there. You
Correct.
move on.
Correct. Absolutely
So
right.
you have a goal, you achieve the goal, and move on.
Correct.
Right. At the same time, remembering that your milestones and goals which you have planned have to be achieved, but not at the cost of a life of yours and others.
Great.
And
So
as a
that
life terminology, it is the various facets of life, being there together, uh, you know, uh, salient things like talking together, walking, etc., etc., or living
absolutely
your
right.
life.
Absolutely right. That's what when I coach my clients, I talk about this that career is a very important part of life, but that's not life itself. And that brings me to the next question. There's lot spoken about work-life balance, especially when these last 2 years when people sat at home and they realized things. What is your opinion on this, and how have you been able to manage that? Because it's not only about progressing in your career, you've also kept going ahead in your education, so that also takes up your time. You have a family life. How have you been able to accomplish all bits? And you also spoke about some contribution that you do towards society. So where do you find this time? Because we all have 24 hours. How do you manage it?
Yeah, so I think most there are two facets to it.
Yes.
I'll talk about the first one now, and then I go to the second one.
Yes.
The work-life balance has a very fundamental things at the center of it, and that center is you
Correct.
or me.
Yes.
Now, that center has health,
Yeah.
physical health,
Yes.
mental health,
Yes.
spiritual health, and
Yes.
well-being.
Right.
If that is restored, then you can do all the other things.
I agree.
Which is the life itself. We are talking about family, extended family, society, nation, larger world, universe. So
Yes.
the wheel of life, right?
Yeah.
So that is very important. Within this cell is your prioritization
Yes.
in terms of your health, in terms of your relationships, in terms of work, in terms of education, in terms of social responsibility, in terms of recreation, and so forth and so on. And all of this has to be balanced within 24 hours.
Correct.
So eventually, the balance is very, very important aspect. And I will further emphasize health, because that's the core to everything. And now it's very, very clear after COVID. Our health enables us to do a lot of things. Of
Right.
course, live longer, but enable us to study, work, take care of family. If we are, not taking care of it, then the water level in our body, oxygen consumption, or doing workouts to do that, meditation,
Yeah.
mindfulness, and all those things are very, very important. I think if we're able to do this center part, then being able to have the energy, physical capability, C, uh, mental fitness,
Yes.
uh, emotional endurance,
Right.
and the physical ability will be there. Now, if you have these five, then what
Hmm.
happens is each of them support. If you are learning, it'll support your work. It
Yeah.
also support your family, because you will be a center of motivation for these people and
Right.
people around as well. And similarly, you will be able to attend to family. If you have kids, you will be able to play with them. Stretch your day as long as possible in going to events, attending events and functions, and of course studying and doing all those activities. But the center core is knowing your body when it requires rest. If you are tired, take rest, and re-energize and do it again. Uh,
Correct.
I'm a big believer in this energy thing.
Hmm.
The factor that you get energy from the environment around you. You have to find those spots of energy, what works for you.
Correct.
And as you know, there are two kind of categories of people on this planet.
Yes.
One who are more introverts and one who are more extroverts.
Correct.
The ones who are more introverts get energy being alone, and
Yes.
the one who are more extroverts get energy with around people.
People.
The times of the day when the energy is high for them, possibly early mornings. The others it's evening. So
Yes.
knowing yourself in which category you fall is very important.
Correct.
And people you associate with, that makes it very easier. And once you've done that, then it's very easy to manage time for work, life, extracurricular activities, the social commitment, as well as making sure that you contribute and you learn. There is an input and there are multiple output as well. And that's how you manage the time.
Yeah, so when you're spending time on all these things, it's not that you're losing out on something. You still can
Absolutely.
go ahead and achieve all what you want in your career.
Absolutely. And one thing which is very clear out of experience is when you're helping somebody, it's not that you're helping them, it's helping yourself.
Absolutely
It comes
right.
many folds back to you.
I believe that completely. Awesome. So what are certain qualities or habits that a person needs to inculcate that takes you to the path of success?
I think it's very important to be satisfied, because most of the problem comes when we are not satisfied with things, and then we every minute becomes very heavy for people because the conscious mind is always flying away. And then once you're satisfied with whatever you have, and whatever and being thankful for that,
Yeah.
whatever you have, then trying to see to it that how best you can do those things, because it's a gift, life, right?
Yes.
And our time is now when we are there.
Correct.
So whatever we do, it's our time which is not going to come back. So make most of it and give it what it can be done. Second is self-consciousness. Knowing your environment, knowing the people around you, knowing what your actions are going to mean for them.
Correct.
Is very important, because taking somebody else is an easy thing, but every action every person does, we as a society are all, at least in my life, I've been related to each other. Right, your immediate family, extended family, and so forth. Your action has implication on them as well.
Correct.
So knowing that is very, very important. It might be moving to some place, doing something, or so forth and so on. Third thing I think is very important is discipline. Because as I said, you have 24 hours within which you have to take care of your health, B, make sure that you're attending to your family, C, you're taking care of work, etc. D, you're taking care of financials as well, because that's already something you need. And then D, learning, and then so you have to have discipline so that you can manage time well and yourself very well. And have your priorities, because success means different people, different things for different people.
Correct.
Some might accumulation of wealth might be success for some. Titles might be success, some a belongingness and a togetherness with the family might be a wealth for some.
Right.
Or inculcating good sanskar in the generation coming.
Yes.
Might be, or being good example, or able to do the maximum in life in terms of contribution, work, and other things might be successful.
True.
So it might vary from people. Knowing your priority is important. And then attitude. We'll all have situations which are not as per our liking.
Correct.
Right? It's not that it's not going to happen. How we react to it is important. I believe the strength of a person is not how good an argument one can give, or win an argument, or physical be there. It is how much tolerance the person can have to absorb what to come into it, and not leave, do something which is not right, and do things which are right. And it is the biggest test of character, biggest test of strength. So attitude is very important. It's very easy to shout. It's very easy to react. It's very easy to abuse, and it will happen. It's very easy to criticize, and it's very easy to get fall down. Even if you're not falling, but getting up and continuing and not leaving your grace and doing the right thing is is a very important path.
Wow.
And after multiple knocks on your chin,
Yes.
there is a famous say, everybody has a plan till the time they get punched on the chin.
Yes.
It's not one punch, it will be multiple punches.
Correct.
How do you take that and move on? It's very important.
Yeah, that's really so beautifully explained. And I'll remember this. The most beautiful part which you said is life is a gift. And what you do of the time here is really very crucial. Make the most of it. People generally miss out on that. They value everything so much that they miss out on the core, and that is life, right? It's you. If you can take care and treasure that, then you can really be a blessing for so many other people around you. But if you miss on that,
we don't know how many people get happiness and a meaning for the life as looking you every day.
Correct.
That you're there.
Right.
And how you present yourself.
Right. Awesome. So in this journey of your life, have you been mentored by people, and how did it really help you? Do you feel having mentors at different points of life is really important?
Yeah, of course. I've been mentored since my childhood. My mother to start with.
Yes.
My father for work, my uncles for work, my grandmother for life, my senior colleagues and bosses at various times. And my wife itself and my sisters. So I have a lot of mentors, especially women mentors.
That's really nice to hear.
Correct. So yeah, it has been not being biased on gender, but of course, we in our household as joint families have women who take care of things. So they are the biggest mentors, and of course, work-wise, people I have worked at work for, my bosses, colleagues, and so forth. They have been a good source of inspiration and mentoring. I think it's to do with work itself, and we cannot be successful in work without having mentoring on how you take care of the family. Right. Especially when you're going to be relocating to new cities, new countries.
Yeah.
How people help you to establish yourself.
Yes.
So that when you move out, especially when you have smaller kids, getting them basic things at home supplied.
Yes.
So that is also mentoring, right? Because you can't do without taking care of that ecosystem.
Correct.
Your work. So I think there are a lot of people, and it is very, very essential. In fact, one should take advice. There is no bad advice. There is always, information that you have to process it and use it.
Yes.
So you should be open to doing so and getting, mentoring and coaching.
Okay. So I mean, with all this that you have accomplished and you've been through, I'm sure there would be some tough moments in life where you would have taken some decisions. Could you help us with some tough decisions that you've taken, and whether they worked well or no is a different thing, but it was very difficult to make that decision at that point of time. If you could share some decisions of your life.
So, I always had this thing that you take a decision either from your mind or your heart.
Okay.
And by heart, I mean, taking consideration of the factors which are towards life as such.
Right.
Rather than, the monetary material things.
Yes.
And in my initial life, I used to think that it was a wrong thing to be taking decision from your heart. For the right reasons, one should at least take for the right reason, decision out of my heart rather than mind.
Yes.
So it is not tough that way. There is always the dilemma when you use your mind too much. But then you have to be very careful. When I say heart, it can be easily interpreted by, getting in flow and doing reactions. That's not what I mean. I mean is taking the decisions which are meant, taking into consideration the larger, circle you're part of. The center is you.
Yes.
But this first circle is your immediate family. The second circle is the extended family. The third circle is the place or region or society you come from. The fourth region possibly is the country, and the fifth region is the world.
Right.
So when you take a decision, it has to have a larger circle impact. If it is only you, then possibly perhaps the monetary parts might be the reason. But if it is this extended circles around you, then heart is what you should listen to.
Yes.
rather than mind.
Wow. And currently, we are going through a challenge where a lot of layoffs are happening in various companies, and people really are struggling through that phase. What would be your advice to these people? Uh, how do you really behave or work in a company so that you avoid being laid off? And if in case that's happened to you, then how do you recoup from there?
Yeah, so I have reminded of two things.
Yeah.
One is, my grandfather used to say this,
Yeah.
and my grandfather brother, that you should be too good in your work, that or you should be the best in what you do. And the second thing, and things will follow you.
Agreed.
And the second thing is that about Bhagavad Gita, that says that you should do your karma, and and leave it to God. And on top of it, what I just heard from Vaishnav Devi recently, that everything you do, you should be a yagna. It should be an ahuti you're giving. Now, that for various people from various faith might be that you just devote everything to God.
Right.
Whoever you believe in,
Right.
leave it to it. And that's very important.
Yes.
Second thing is that in my life, I've been working almost 25 years.
Yes.
Not as much as a lot of people have worked, people very experienced, but I've seen changes, from an underdeveloped country to a developing country. The things have changed, right?
Yes. Yes.
When, back when I was in school and college,
Yeah.
the kind of tools, technologies which were used, they've transformed, right?
Yes.
And then, the industries have transformed.
Yes.
There is this curve in any product, which is early adopters, late adopters, then there is a plateau, and then it comes down.
Correct.
That is the same thing with any business as well, any vertical. Things which are now new will seldomly come down.
Yes.
And the Moore's law, which is that every few years the processor speed will go faster, and the semiconductors will get smaller, has further made the changes very frequent. You have every year a new version of smartphone come.
Correct.
So and so forth. And so how would technology and how would work be untouched?
Yeah.
And then we have the larger, the maturity technologies like machine learning, artificial intelligence. So it's very important that, people do not, get complacent once they have a job. I think complacency causes a lot of problems. If you redevelop, reinvent yourself, because the layoff means that either the company is not making money,
Yeah.
or that particular skill has got obsolete because something new has come up.
Yes.
So for a business perspective, the business also is the business in creating value, creating shareholder. While it is also a responsibility of business to invent and reskill people, but people on their own should have the initiative to relearn there. And that's where this balance wheel of life, where you take care of your health, your family, your finances, your work, and your education, was very important.
Yes.
And it is not one fine day; it is every day.
Correct.
So this is going to happen, and things are going to change, and change is important. Change is needed,
Yes.
right? Because otherwise we will be back as a developed country, or we'll back in time. We have to go forward in time for good.
Yes.
And hence it is very important. And it's when you transform, when you exercise, you transform. There's a pain.
Yes.
So for those who are working, they should start learning new skills, have a lifestyle, and that's where discipline comes in, because you have to have your plans, whether you're going to consume alcohol or when you're going to consume, because you can't learn by being intoxicated.
Yes.
Most people, not everybody, people
Yes.
are obviously highly skilled to do that as well.
Yes.
However, so you have to prioritize your day, right? How is it going to go? Where are the vacuum spaces in the day?
Yes.
And then for those who have already, they have to deal with change, or when we transform ourselves, when we work out, or want to change anything, learn new things, is going to come with some form of disturbance. But let's embrace it.
Yeah.
Right? Let's embrace it. and be comfortable being uncomfortable, right? A lot of volatility is going to happen, and it is a way in which God is preparing us to
Yes.
be, working in this volatility below our feet,
Yes.
and be comfortable being uncomfortable with the changes that are going to happen. This is not the
Right.
first change that happened.
Correct.
What was happening before was those changes were happening over a decade or 2 decades. Now it is
Yes.
happening very
Much
quickly,
faster.
within a year or so.
Right.
Hence, we have to be nimble-footed and adopt. This thing with the survival of the
Fittest.
fittest, but it is not the fittest who will survive. It is the most adaptive species that will
Yes.
survive.
Yes. So, I'm sure in this career journey, you would have hired people, or you're assisting others to hire people. If you're looking at crucial aspects in a person before hiring them, what is that you would look into a person that he's going to be the right person for my organization?
I think the most important element is, of course, maturity.
Yes.
But I am presuming that not everybody will be mature, because depending on what stage of their life is, people will
Yes.
grow up and get mature.
Yes.
But I think trust is very important. Trust and camaraderie, right? For example, a relationship between brothers and sisters, parents, siblings, husband, wife. It is for that to succeed.
Yeah.
You need the two people to have trust and understanding. Nobody on this world will be without defects. We all humans,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But you will try to work that out with people.
Yeah.
If you want to have relationship. As I said, the new normal is that you have to continue learning.
Yes.
So all this is given, but more important than that is how do you work with people, right? And how do you want to integrate with people? Of course, the salient factors is you trust and you hear people, you will be ready to change as well.
Yeah.
If change is needed, or the other person will change as well.
Yes.
Which can be learning new skills, which might be working more efficiently and so forth and so on. But that is, if you have trust, you take feedback. And of course, it depends in terms of who the superior is. There's a difference between criticism and feedback. There's a very thin line.
Yes.
But I see more importantly the eagerness, or not the eagerness is the right word, but this attitude of becoming part of a relationship.
Yes.
Because what is not replaceable, everything can be replaced.
Yeah.
But the experience of working together as a team can't be replaced. You have
Correct.
to do it, and build to it. And the experience of succeeding and failing together.
Yeah.
In fact, failing is much more expensive learning because it has a cost to it. But then when you are a team, you have that perpetuality of using that and leveraging that, and not restarting and making those mistakes. So that is very, very important. And of course, the attitude becomes very, because as I said, till the time you have all the theories in your head, it's all fine. When you get punched with the situation, it's where and it's a time compact situation. Things have to be done. A lot of stuff has to be done. Your attitude on how do you react?
Yeah.
Because you can just give it up or continue doing it together.
Yes.
And then how do you react to others? Because everybody is not possibly trying to create that pressure.
Yeah.
But you can't. Certain times you can't get things without getting your hands dirty.
Yes.
You have to do it, and you have to do it today.
Yes.
So I think attitude and this camaraderie are the two most important things. Rest, I think, people can be sent for trainings and other things, and so forth and so on.
Great. My last question to you: what would be your advice to this new, younger people who are joining the workforce? What should they take care when they're thinking about their career? What will set them to really grow, do well in their life?
So I think more important thing is, very important thing is that they do not forget the generations before them.
Yeah.
While they might not look very fancy, they might not look very shiny as an object, and I see a lot of criticism. But they did what they did, but whatever limited resources were by that
Resources.
time.
Hmm.
So first thing is, because otherwise you will learn in a hard way.
Yeah.
Uh, Better is to respect them
Yeah.
and learn from them. That is very important. It might be your parents, it might be your elderly siblings, um, elders, your senior colleagues. Listen to them. Obviously, they are also wanting to listen to you because you are born in certain things like digital, which was not there when they were growing up.
Yes.
A lot of resources which are available today were not there at that time. So they're all years. But then there are certain fundamentals of life which doesn't change,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
All these are enablers. The core work is still the same.
Yes.
So that is, I think, is very important. And second thing is that while you flow through all the glamours, there are too much of available things. So either it's
Hmm.
consuming digital content, consumption of food or beverages and so forth and so on. Discipline becomes very, very important. You can get flowed out by all this, and the time is again 24 hours every day to live, and and everything has a replicating effect.
Yes.
If you are you know under high hangover, you will have a rippling effect the next day, and to
Yes.
get out the next day, next day, next day, next day. So
Yes.
you have to see that self discipline is the key.
Wow.
Wasn't it really amazing? Such
Wow.
brilliant insights he has shared with us. I would really thank Mr. Sanjay Vaid from the bottom of my heart, and a real gratitude from both of us that he has shared
Absolutely.
everything so openly, so beautifully, not keeping anything or withholding any kind of information.
Absolutely.
And I really want all of you who are viewing us, share what have you learned. As about me and Dheeraj, we really want to say that some very key important take back. For me, one was that life is really pressure. Treasure it, but treasure means what are you doing now, right at this moment, to really treasure life, how you're using it to the fullest. And crucial aspect to that is discipline. We all have same 24 hours to live. Where you want to use those 24 hours, the choice is yours. And only then such people can really grow in life.
Absolutely. In fact, the point that I love, which I always believe, I always say that, as what he said, be comfortable in the uncomfortable. So, which means that we always say that, that if you are certain in the most uncertain time, that's where you reach, where you should be reaching in life. And that's what he was trying to say. And the point is that we need to be very comfortable in an uncomfortable zone because, that's the new normal. That's how it's going to be. So that was a lovely takeaway.
And this is what people are telling today, that till yesterday, strength was very important. How can you persevere? How can you move ahead? Today, adaptability has become a very, very
Yes.
crucial attitude or habit that you need to inculcate, because the pace of change that we are going through today is immense. And if you're not being able to adapt quickly to the changes, then somewhere you'll be left
Absolutely.
behind. Something beautiful which he started was the hunger for knowledge. Just imagine he comes from a background where he couldn't complete his studies. He had to start working because the family needed, the financial situations were such that he had to step up, take up the responsibility. But that didn't keep him away from studying. Throughout his life, imagine the first, his post graduation degree, he has a son and his wife on the convocation. So traveled places, underdeveloped, developed countries, worked at different places, kept persisting on his learning and growing, because he knows that only when you learn can you add value to your organization, and you can have confidence in your own life.
Absolutely. And then that thing he said about, you need to have trust, you need to have comradeship, you need to have that understanding, experience of working together. These are very beautiful things which they are seeing while hiring people. That are you that kind of person who have these characteristics? That's very crucial. Now, am I a trustworthy person? Do I have that, I'm in a great emotions that I can have great relationship with people. Today, that's what life is all about. It's not about a solo player. It's about comradeship. How together, comradeship is given word for missionaries when people with one mission come together and they work on the mission as comrades. And that's what he's talking about. That's again, I think, an amazing learning. So I know there were amazing learnings today.
There's one more thing which I would mention at the end, and then of course we'll conclude the session. That that well-being which you spoke about,
Yes.
your mental, spiritual, physical well-being is very, very crucial, because you're the center, and then it's about all the relationships around you.
Absolutely.
So I think throughout what you spoke was whether it's relationship with yourself, relationship at your family, relationship at work, it all begins with you. If you are taking care of yourself,
Yes.
then you'll be able to take care of everything. So live life holistically, and that's exactly the principles that we teach on when we coach people in their career. I never just look at their career, but all the decisions that these people will take, whether it's a husband or the wife, whether it's the father or the mother whom I'm coaching, their one decision of their career is going to impact their entire family.
Absolutely.
And if you don't consider that, then you're not really living life correctly.
Yes.
So all these beautiful principles, he just put it in a small little 30-45 minute session that we had. So I really would want all of you to share these learnings, put it in your comments,
True.
repost this and spread it around, because a person as senior as him, sharing all that, giving us that time, let's really...
I think we are fortunate that we could have access to such people, and they are sharing the experience. I think it's not so easy to reach out to such people. So let's make the most for us and also our loved ones. Let them give us this information so that they can also learn and they can also aid their career.
So guys, thank you very much for being here with us today on this live session. We'll continue doing these episodes on insights from various mentors,
Yes.
and giving you tips on how to ace your career. And I promise you, like we decided, we are delivering till we get that 1 year. We complete these series.
Yes.
We also complete all the tips that we have decided to help people at any age, any stage of their career, so that they can grow and become happy and spread happiness.
Absolutely. So thank you very much. Good night. God bless. Bye-bye.